Enter Hanoi, the gateway to the north. As well as being a hub for tourism, it's also the historical epicenter of northern Vietnamese cuisine. Famous for its Vietnamese egg coffee, pho, Bun Cha, as well as many other scrumptious bites, on this trip I'll be staying in the Old Quarter. Its narrow streets and old-world feel lend itself to a unique ambiance, which I find particularly intoxicating. But enough chat, it's time to hear from our senior food correspondent coming to you from street level.
All right, we're doing daytime Hanoi now. So we're gonna go look for some lunch here. I'm thinking Bun Cha. And then after that, we'll go look for some Vietnamese egg coffee because that's also a special of Hanoi and the North in general. So let's go. So I thought while I'm here in Hanoi, we're gonna check out some regional dishes the best we can. As I take my jaunt through Vietnam, we're going to try to find a little bit more about regional cuisine, you know, south, mid, and north. So I will be visiting all these different regions. Now, we found ourselves looking for some Bun Cha. It's a pork dish with vermicelli noodles. And it's done outside on the barbecue, and this is supposed to be one of the best ones in town that hasn't been yet, like, overly made to be super touristic. However, it's really packed in here, so we're gonna film the best we can and just give you a little glimpse at this delicious stuff. So this restaurant is called Bun Cha K Tre. I probably massacred that pronunciation, but yeah, just waiting for the food. But we've got a little apple custard tea here, which is something that is totally new for me. And it's very good. My Bun Cha is here. All right, we're gonna get into this here now. We've got a big old bowl of fresh herbs, lettuce, all that freshness that is kind of the hallmark of Vietnamese cuisine. Now, this actually looks like a soup. I wasn't expecting a soup. I don't know exactly how to eat this, so I guess you add the cold vermicelli noodles, which are quite beautiful, and just put them into the soup. I've actually been seated with the gentleman here beside me, so I'm watching how he does it. Let's try these noodles. That is beautiful. The soup has got this beautiful essence of barbecued pork flavor in it. And then the texture on these noodles, they just nailed it. It's absolutely wonderful. Now, these herbs look interesting to me. Being from BC, Canada, this looks like stinging nettle to me. I'm sure it's something different, but that's what it looks like. Oh. Strong flavor, a little basil-y, a little licorice. Very nice. Now, let's get to the piece de resistance, which is this beautiful barbecued pork. Wow. The flavor on that is absolutely unreal. Wow, that is delicious. So glad I came here. We've got little bits of ground pork, which is what I just had. Oh my God, so delicious. And then we've got, what I read is they do this, a lot of this with pork shoulder. So I'm guessing this here is some sliced pork shoulder. That char flavor is so good. This is a really, really amazing dish. So happy. Well, that was insanely delicious. And it was only about like $4 with the apple custard tea, which is just insane value. That was an amazing dish. Let's go find some Vietnamese egg coffee. So one of my favorite things in Vietnam is actually the street coffee culture they have here. You see it every morning walking around, a lot of little plastic stools on the street, everybody sitting and taking their coffee, but it's an all day long thing. Now, we've come to check out a very special type of coffee here in Hanoi in the north. So it's called Vietnamese Egg Coffee. And basically what's done is they whip up an egg yolk and add it to the top of the coffee with maybe some sugar or cinnamon or things like that. I've actually got a creme brulee one here, so there's definitely a bit of sugar. Normally I'm a black coffee kind of guy. So there's a little sweetness. I like it not too sweet. Let's see how this one is. But that's a really tasty coffee. Now, originally I thought it was an egg white whipped topping. And then I had one the other day and I'm like, I swear I can taste the yolk in that. So they're using the yolk. The origin of this particular coffee, and actually we happen to be right next door to the place that invented all of it. So we're gonna go there next and compare and see what all the fuss is about. Compare the original to the next door version. The only reason I chose to take a coffee here is because in Mr. Giang's, which is the original, there's no street space for sitting. It's all inside, and I wanted to give a nice street shot for you guys to check out, just to get a feel of like what the actual Vietnamese street coffee culture is like. Wow, it is actually better. Something about the top of this coffee here, the way that they've whipped the egg together, they've infused this flavor in there. There's something just very full and well-rounded about the flavor. It really is delicious. That's only the foam on the top. Let's get to the actual coffee. Just beautiful, rich flavor. Not too sweet. Absolutely perfect. I can see why this is the master. Cafe Giang. Don't miss it if you come to Hanoi. Okay, so this is also one way to travel here in Hanoi in Vietnam. We're on our way to go find what is supposed to be one of the best banh mi's in the north. Bun Me 25, or so I've read on the interwebs. But this is a nice, this dude is pushing like a bicycle, his tuk-tuk bicycle, so although I feel like a little bit of a knob anytime I'm doing this type of touristy stuff, this is a cool way because it's open-ended in the front, so you get a good look at what's going on around you. And a nice breeze on a hot day, so it's cool. Let's go get some food. All right, so this place seems to be somewhat of an institution here in Hanoi. I'm looking around, they've actually got they've shut down the whole block. They own the entire block, Bun Me, no, I'm joking, but they've got 3 different locations all in super close proximity, so they're obviously doing something right. It's a nice mix between locals and tourists here too. All right, so we went ahead and ordered the signature here, which is a barbecued pork, sausage and pate with carrots, cucumber, coriander, chili, classic. This looks like a beautiful fresh baguette. The baguette's still warm, super fresh. This is delicious. As you can see, pate, barbecued pork, I mean, how can you go wrong? This is one of the better banh mi's that I've had, to be honest. Flavor explosion. The bread, without a doubt, is probably the most important part. You've got that French influence from old colonial French times. Yeah, highly recommend this spot. Bun Me 25, if you end up in this area, beautiful. It's funny, I haven't been to Hanoi in about 7 or 8 years, and last time I was here, I found it to be completely overwhelming. Now, I was not as experienced of a traveler as I am now. So these things can be all a matter of perspective, as I'm trying not to get run over by motorcycles here and whatnot. I mean, it is absolute anarchy when it comes to the traffic here in Vietnam in general. And it's loud, they're beeping and everything, but I swear, ever since I've been to like New Delhi and Mumbai, everything else seems a little bit tame in that way. Now, we're gonna go look for some food. The great thing is, here in Hanoi is there's like so much stuff out on the street as far as food goes. So it's absolutely, this is an eater's country, an eater's city. It's fantastic. So, gonna have a little look around and see what we can find. All right, so we're out here on the street again here in Hanoi, and drinking the aptly titled Hanoi beer, which to me, it reminds me of a Kolsch. It's my favorite beer that I've found in Hanoi so far. We've got these beautiful, hot and crispy Hanoi style spring rolls. Oh, and we got more food, sizzling food coming out here to the table. So this looks super crispy. We're gonna dip it in this little sauce here. I don't know what the sauce is, let's try it. A little bit sweet. Some cucumber in there. Oh, the crunch on that. And I don't get excited about spring rolls too often. To be honest, I think it's normally like kind of boring tourist food for people who can't handle the real shit. But in this case, these beautiful, crispy, flaky, brown on the outside spring rolls are fantastic. So it's just this nice fried fish here on top of some bean sprouts with some chili. And then we've got these fun things, rice sheets. So you wrap all these fresh herbs and lettuce and vermicelli noodles up in this with a bit of the fish, and like so. We got some peanuts also, and different herbs. We've got mint, coriander, these stinging nettle type things that I had previously, a little bit of chopped carrot done in a pretty flour style, some vermicelli, and we even got a little bit of pineapple. Add a little bit of this fried fish and a chili. So we got it looking like that. And you know what? We'll double wrap. We'll double wrap like we're on Soy 6 here. If you know, you know. Now we've got this thing, which is actually gigantic, and we'll dip it in the sauce here. The sweet sauce, the same one that I had for the spring rolls. Oh my God. This is a flavor explosion. For those who like big flavors, any of these rice paper dishes with the different herbs and stuff like that, you're gonna love them. So out here on the street, Hanoi beer, beautiful spring rolls, and then fresh rice paper rolls with the fried fish. How could you do any better? This is fantastic.